Hello, hello. Welcome back to my channel. It's B Taylor TV. And today we're going to have a special guest, Akilahmonroe, where I'm going to be interviewing her on her views and her side. I'm guessing she's having some camera issues right now. Okay, there we go. There we go. Let me unmute you. I didn't see you. I'm going to unmute your mic so we can hear you.
Hi, good morning. Yes, I can hear you.
Thanks for joining me.
Of course.
I'm going to have you go ahead and introduce yourself and who you are and your experience in this. And, go ahead.
Okay. Hey, everybody. It's Akilahmonroe, your favorite Esty bestie. Of course, I'm an esthetician, so I work with skincare and any part of the skin. I wax as well. And I also have a beauty and lifestyle channel on the YouTube app.
Nice. So you have a lot of experience with dealing with women. You've come across so many women, and you worked at a waxing place. And you're still currently at work as a waxer as well, right?
Yeah, 100%. I wax literally all day.
Yes, she's even waxed me before. He's waxed me a few times as well. So you definitely have a lot of experience in that. So I'm going to go ahead and get into this video. We can go ahead and view. A lot of you guys already saw the video of Nick Cannon, but for those who didn't see, we're going to go ahead and watch that. So I am going to go ahead and share my screen. So just give me a minute.
You might be giving girls bacterial vaginal.
Okay, wait, hold on. I didn't want that the minutes. Okay. Can y'all see it? Can you see it, Keela?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Okay,
I can see it.
Let's talk it real.
First of all, I read the comments. They say that to me all the time, and because of that, and I'm not going. I'm gonna go into my because I'm glad we're having this conversation because I'll be wanting to answer these people.
All right, let's hear it.
First of all, because everybody knows that my lifestyle is pretty unorthodox, and part of that is because I probably every other week have to get blood work done based off of my lupus and all of that. And in those, when I'm getting those cultures and everything, I see doctors quite a bit. Right. Run it all. Make sure, and as we know, when it comes to BV, because that is a big thing,
it's very common.
But also there's a rumor they feel like, oh, that men can't get it and all that. Like men definitely can get it. They carry, yes, and you carry it on, and you can pass on, and you can get this thing where it's actually you can get BV technically like in your prostate.
It's where,
like, yeah, and that's where you hold it, and that's how you're giving it to people. So because my doctors know that I'm quite active in the sexual department, but also there's other things just within me when it comes to my blood and the lupus, everything that I got to be healthier than most. Right. So I'm making sure even the sexual partners, whether it's multiple or not, everybody got to be on the same vibe, because I just because one bacteria to another bacteria, you can fuck some shit up. So
you might be giving girls bacterial vaginal.
So I'm gonna pause that. Pause that, and then I'm gonna try to find the one where he actually said women smell. I forgot I think he said 80% of women smell.
Oh, he a little bold for that one.
He is very bold, but he is being honest about it. I don't think I saved the video. Wait, I did. Actually, I did. Wait, hold on. Actually, because even his 2 children, he said a lot, y'all. He said a lot. I don't think I have it saved, but basically he was saying that do women know that they smell? So I don't have that exact video. I thought I saved it, but I didn't. That's fine. But we all know that it what Nick Cannon said. Okay, we all kind of got. He basically said that 80% of women smell and need help with hygiene. And I'm going to talk about my experience in college. That I don't think, this is my opinion, I don't think that it's 80%. I think that it's probably 50% of women probably smell, just based off of what I've heard from other men. And they're like beautiful women, like beautiful, beautiful women. Like you wouldn't even think, like they look clean, they look nice, they look well put together and polished. But then when it comes down to down there, it's not fresh. It's not, you'll be like, what? Why? What's going on? And I think a lot of women don't know or supposed to know how it's supposed to smell. For one, it's not supposed to smell like roses and peaches, but don't say that it's a funk smell that's supposed to be there, because it's not.
Right.
Everybody has a different scent. Everybody has a smell, but it's not supposed to be pungent. Like it's not supposed
unpleasant.
Unpleasant. It's not supposed to be unpleasant. It's just so everybody has a smell to them. You walk into somebody's home, it has a smell. But when I was in college, I was friends with I would go and get ready to go out to the club with girls and hang out with them. It doesn't matter if they took a shower or not. It was always this like lingering smell in their bathroom, or when I would go to the bathroom after another woman. And even when I was a hostess at a restaurant and I would go and clean out the bathrooms, like women are so dirty. And I was so surprised because I never wanted to clean the men's restroom because I'm like, ew, like men are just like nasty. But the men's bathroom was actually much cleaner than women's.
Right, because you think if I'm cleaning the women's bathroom and it's like this, I definitely don't want to go in that bathroom.
Right. And it's the complete opposite. The men's bathroom is not as horrendous as women's bathroom. Like women, I don't understand. There's some women who will literally leave their whole entire sanitary pad on top of the toilet and forget that it's there. So it's just like, if you're not even like making it a sanitary experience when you're changing out your pad or your tampon, like, and you're just doing like you're flushing it the wrong way, you're disposing it the wrong way, you're leaving things everywhere. It's like, it just kind of tells you that person's mindset as well. Like they're just dirty.
Yeah.
And so when I was friends with girls in college, they always just had this, like, some girls, not all, but you know, some of them had like this weird smell to them. And I'm like, dang, like, and she got a man too. So it was just kind of like, me and my other friends would talk about it. I'd be like, dang, did she know she kind of smell a little bit? Especially she be twerking all the time and her twerk air don't smell right. Like, you know, about like the twerk air.
Trust me, I know.
Like, why your twerk air already like funky? Like,
no, trust me, I know.
then they be having the nerve to be like twerking on you, and you be like, oh, girl, what?
They go had a nerve to tell me you're no fun. No, baby, I don't want you twerking on me.
No, I don't want you twerking on me. And I'm like, do y'all not know? Because like, if I ever have a day where I'm at the gym, you know when your girl is not fresh and you need to take a shower, like you know you have your moments like that. But there's many different reasons why your woman, your punani, your vagina is probably smelling bad. So I also know that a girl who was in college with me who put baby powder down there every time she went to the bathroom. And we were like, at first she was like, yeah, that's normal. And we were like, no, that's not good. That's not good for her. Now you're drying her out. You're creating bacteria. It's like creating buildup and all types of stuff down there. And she was like, oh, not me. I just know other people that do it. And then I go to her bathroom, there's baby powder on the toilet. like leftover baby powder on the toilet. So I'm like girl, it's you. It's you. You're the one. And there has been an experience where I was in high school and a girl, we knew every time she was on her rag, which is her period. We knew every time because it was so strong. And she was my friend. To the point I didn't want to be her friend. So I'm like, well, as a friend, I'm going to tell you. And that was the hardest conversation to have. It's like, I told her like, hey, I really just want to talk to you as a friend and let you know, like, we can tell when you're on your cycle because there's just like this really strong smell. Like, I mean, it was like, oh my God, like make me go up. And this was like back in middle school. So it's like her mother failed to teach her how to clean herself, failed to pay attention to how to clean herself. So I had to tell her myself, and she was like, well, yeah, like I understand, I probably do. And I'm like, do you not smell it? Does it not bother you? Like, and I think it's to the point where you don't even know you smell. So how do a woman supposed to know that she smells bad?
You know, it doesn't matter how used to a certain smell you are. It's just like, okay, so maybe if you're walking around with your pants up and you're not, I have thick thighs. My thighs don't just open unless I open them. So if there's a smell, I'm gonna know,
Yeah,
because what
that
that
is
means, I'm going to the bathroom, I'm pulling my undies down, I'm doing something that's just like, oh, okay, let me go use this rose wipe. If you need a rose wipe, let me know.
okay.
But everybody knows that. Just the only pass that I'll give people is your breath, and not even that, because your tongue should taste nasty. Like, there's no excuse.
Halitosis,
know
like I know when my breath is like where I'm like hungry and I'm having
Mhm.
halitosis, I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, y'all, my breath is a little hot today. I'm hungry.
Just a little bit,
Just a little bit.
and then I noticed, like, because I also have had many experiences, even with my friends using like summer's eve things, or just anything, any body wash or any just random thing down there. What it smells like, and so do your friends. And if your friends are not letting you know, like, hey girl, let me pull you to the side, let me say something to you, I just had to do it yesterday. So, like, no.
You had to let a friend know yesterday that she's crying. How did that
No. She didn't smell, but there was just something going on, and that she just needed to be told. So I was just alluding to, like, yes, the conversations are hard, but at the end of the day, they need to be had. Because I kid you not, if I'm going around somewhere, and because I'm the type of person that, even if you're not my friend, I'll be like, hey girl, that's your group. They didn't. Okay, well, this is going on. If somebody does that to me, and I'm with my homegirls, and they didn't say something to me first, it's an issue.
That is
100%.
true.
But what I do
Let me
notice
ask,
is mostly.
mhm.
Mhm.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, I noticed that, like, when people use certain, like, body washes, like, I'm so sorry, don't shoot me because I know how you girls like to tussle. I hate the entire Tree Hut scrub line, the entire thing. I hate when people use it. It's the worst, and right now it's the culprit.
Oh my gosh, Tree Hut, what's that?
The little cute body wash scrub that all the girls are using on, like, TikTok and Instagram? They have a
No.
whole bunch of different scents. Yes, Brittany, people will literally, like, show you them in the shower, and, like, their whole shower wall will be full of this stuff, of scented body
Oh
wash,
yes.
the scented
Okay. Yes.
scrubs, and it's just like, mm-hmm.
I've seen that. I've
And
seen
it's just
that. And
like, I wonder up close and personal what it really is smelling like.
oof, I can't even imagine, because you know what? That's one thing. I'm gonna get into it because I'm gonna ask you some questions first. But yeah, there's certain
Mm-hmm.
soaps that women should not be using down there, and one of them is Victoria's Secret by Bath and Body Works. You should not be using heavy scented soaps down there. You think that it's gonna make her smell like a rose, and it's not. It's gonna turn that rose gonna turn real sour. So
What did
okay,
Outcast say? Outcast said roses really smell like boo boo. So
not the outcast. Wait, okay. So, your experience as a waxer, how has it been as a waxer? What has been your experience? Would you agree with Nick Cannon that 80% of women smell down there?
I don't agree with 80%. I think that's a very, very high number. I would, I don't want to say 50-50, because while I'm working, I'm not thinking like, oh, this person is going to smell or this person's not. It's not like that cut and dry. I would give a 60-40 though. Like, it's enough for me to notice, but it's not too much to where I'm like alarmed all the time, or like always on edge, like, oh, I hope she doesn't smell, or whatever. I think depending on the age group matters 100%, because at another place that I worked, there were certain age groups where I would just be nervous.
What do you want to leave the name of the place out?
Yeah, I don't want to get sued today.
Okay. So, what do you mean age group? Explain that?
So for the most part, I would give it like, oh, actually, it's actually kind of scattered, but majority of the girls that had a smell, if they weren't super old, because the super old ladies, I don't things are just happening with your body. I feel like that's probably something they really just cannot control. But the younger girls that are like our age, like the 18 to 40,
18
that's
to
a big age range. Okay. So I would give it to like 40.
Well, 40 is not my age.
That's a big age range.
That's
and
a big
it's
age.
scattered through all of them.
So from 18 to 40, that's the ones that's not good with hygiene?
Pretty much. That's where I get most of my 40%. So I'll get somebody that'll maybe be like 42. She's always good. I have a couple of people within the age range as well that I never have an issue with, but the ones they're always on the younger side of that. So if I had to be even more specific, I would still say between 18 to like 25.
18 to 25.
Yeah.
So
more specifically.
Okay, that's a better much number, because that was kind of like from 18. That's a 20-year like whoosh, like gap. So from 18 to 25, you would say most girls don't know how to wipe themselves? Like what
Yes, unfortunately, I do think that is a big deal that we're not wiping front to back. I think people are wiping back to front. I've had that experience multiple times, and it's even just as simple as carrying a wet wipe in your purse, because I don't mean to get too like weird, but it's mostly like, you wax from the front to the back. So the back strip that we do, it's always something left back there, be it tissue, be it things exiting your body. It's just always something. And it's just like you walking around with that in your booty hole, like
Wait, what do you mean? Like dingleberries or something?
Like 100% dingleberries, okay?
Ooh.
And a little bit more sometimes.
Like
I wish shit. Feces.
Okay. They still
it'll
have
be left. Yes. Yes. Do you know how many times I've had to wax over it? Because I can't react. I'm a professional. I'm not going to react to it. I'm not going to say anything in that setting because you don't want your guests to be uncomfortable. You just do your job.
Or it's like doesn't have a smell?
Of course. Of course.
Oh
if you want me to be completely honest, there are multiple times where I'm in there holding my breath, getting lightheaded because I'm trying not to breathe.
Oh my gosh. I'm gonna highlight this one comment. I work in healthcare and know it's true, but think if it's no one taught them and no one told them, they think it's okay. Sad but true. Wow. A lot of grown women have odors. So I would say the age gap between 18 to 40, most women probably don't know how to take care of themselves. What else has been your experience with waxing with women that what are you finding that's their problem?
I 100. Well, as far as just being sanitary, that's just something that they have to deal with, and that's why I always tell people, we sell these box wipes. They're rose wipes, but they're 100% natural and safe to use down there. You can use it on your entire body, but they're made to be used down there. I carry like 17 in my purse. That's a big number. I'm exaggerating, but I carry them in my purse because anytime I'm going anywhere, I'm using the wipes. I'll use tissue and then use the wipes. And another thing too is just you don't stop wiping until it's clean. Like until you wipe and there's nothing there. And I just think that's the simplest thing that you can do.
That's what I do, and I
like making sure you have
tissue because I just make sure everything is just nothing is left. Like just people really only wipe once and think that's enough, and it's like no,
never enough. I made a TikTok the other day about going to a friend's house and them not having baby wipes in their bathroom, and how I was like, oh, I just want to go home. So like, it's a real thing. I feel like
I don't think
even
that
men.
Baby wipes is needed, but I don't believe in baby wipes. Maybe some type of like hypoallergenic wipes. I don't,
Mm-hmm.
because baby wipes are not good to flush. They've
Right.
already said that. They do have wipes that you can flush. I would suggest using the honey pot. I love the honey pot wipe,
Mm-hmm.
and
We love
they
honey
work
pot.
really well. You know, I just making sure if you're gonna wipe in the front, maybe just use tissue to only wipe in the front, flush it, and then use tissue to wipe to the back.
Mm-hmm.
Like instead of
That
just
can
using
work.
one. That's what I
Yeah.
don't do all in one. I do separately.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, if that works for you, that's fine. Like you said, I've waxed you before. You've never had an issue. So if that were, y'all need to take some of B. Taylor's advice because, period.
right, I don't count in that group. I know. I definitely.
At all.
I shower before I go to any waxing place. Like I don't be intimate before I go get a wax because I just feel like let's get into that. Your experience. I've heard you say like there's women who literally you can tell when they
We can tell. We can tell.
you can tell. So how can you tell? Like without being too gruesome, how can you tell?
100%. And it's just like, one, it's without being too gruesome, the chargeback, if you catch where I'm going, it comes out.
Oh, okay. Not them doing that.
Do you feel me?
Yeah.
The chargeback, it comes out. Just unfortunately, there is a scent afterwards. Yes, I've had that experience.
Yeah,
So, you know, every time you are intimate with somebody, their pH and your pH mixes. So they might throw you off or anything. Yeah, so there's just, especially if I've been waxing you for a while, girl, I know what you're doing. Don't do me like that. So that's just basically it. Like you can tell the scent and you can tell by looking at it.
So it's not good as a wax. It says that that's the age group that you said, that's the high sexually active ages as well, where they're not having the most careful sex when it comes to different men, bacteria high as F. The age group where the people are most sexually active, that's why they're probably smelling not too pleasant. So we need to definitely educate women, and I have some notes because this is not just to shame. This is to educate and to understand that it is normal. You're not alone. That if you do have a smell, like there's multiple.
Okay. That also.
Yeah, there's multiple reasons why
the 18 to 25.
Yeah, and a lot of people are sexually active, and I'm really surprised because it's like a lot of people are sexually active and uneducated about sex education, and that's scary. I've literally ran into
100%.
men where I asked them their status, and they go, "Oh, I'm clean," because the girl that I was messing with said she was clean. I was like, "But what about your stuff?" And they're like, "Oh, well, she didn't say nothing." So a lot of men don't go to the doctor. And I've said this before, a lot of men don't go to the doctor. They don't go and get tested, or they'll get tested once a year, but be having sex with like 5 different women in 1 year, or messing with 2 to 3 different women in 1 year. And they based off their results off of another woman. So if you're a sexually active person, I believe, and this is for, and I'm just going to break it down for people who are sexually active, because it's easily for a woman. Your vagina is an open wound. It's an open wound. Okay. So it looks like your screen has paused, Akila, but I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna keep going. But yes, it's an open wound, so therefore you have to be careful what enters inside of it. As a woman, it takes on bacteria as well as it has healthy bacteria, and it can have bad bacteria in it as well. So if you are sexually active, after each partner, you should be getting tested. It doesn't matter if you don't have any smell. It doesn't matter if you don't have any symptoms. Like a lot of people think that because they don't have symptoms, they're in the clear. They're like, well, I'm not, I don't have any symptoms. I literally one time had a guy say, well, I don't have any symptoms. I'm not burning or anything. So I know I don't have anything. And it's like, are you kidding me? There's called chlamydia and there's gonorrhea. Oh, I don't know what happened, but she'll be back. There's chlamydia and gonorrhea where people, you don't have any symptoms. And if you actually had sex education, you would know that. You would know about the STIs before you have sex of any kind, before you're sexually active and getting yourself out there, before you get a new partner. You should educate yourself on having sex education and what STIs are, what they look like. Hey, it looks like you're back. Okay, good. I would say to go to if you're very sexually active, you should be going to your OBGYN at least twice a year. You should be going to go get tested after each intimate partner you have, even if it's protected, because you still can get STIs with a condom on. A lot of people did not know that. It even says with the condom that it doesn't protect you fully. You can get HPV using a condom. So women, I really need you to know that you can get an STI, you can get HPV or BV with the condom on, because it spreads through body fluid. So if he's touching you here and touching himself, like it could get swapped either way, especially when it comes down to oral sex or anything like that. Yeah, I would say also use protection. If you are dealing with like an odor issue, and you're with a man that, you know, let's be honest here. It's a lot of women that are with men that are cheating, and they know that their man is cheating, and they know that their man has had a history of going out and stepping out and having sex with other women. If you know that and you decide to stay, and I'm not judging you for staying, because there's a lot of women who do stay. Okay, but if you do decide to stay, you need to protect yourself and make that man wear a condom. Because if you know he's stepping out and he stepped out on you on the past, who's to say he's not? I have had friends who was with a guy who was cheating on them, and girl, her BO was like not her BO, but her body odor down there was off the chain. We was like dancing one time, and I was like, oh my God, because her man was giving her BV because he was out having sex with other women, and he was throwing off. And just like Nick said, men don't have symptoms of BV. Men don't have symptoms of always have symptoms of HPV, but they can be carriers of it, and they carry bacteria, and they also can carry bacteria in their semen. So therefore, and men are like, well, it's not on the outside. It's not about the outside. It's about the urethra hole. That's the inside, the bacteria that's coming out of you is transferring to women, to women, to women, to women. And then I actually had a guy say to me, well, after each girl I had sex with, like, I would make sure I took a shower and cleaned off. It's not about the outside. It's about what's the inside, what's coming out when your fluids are coming out of your penis
area.
Sex with another woman. Therefore, it doesn't matter if you clean it or not. You can't clean the inside. You cannot do that.
Right.
So if a man does carry BV, he needs to let his body detox, and it takes a couple of months for that to go away. So if you are a woman and your man keeps giving you that, you need to wrap it up with him if you're going to stay and deal with him. And sometimes a man can throw off your pH because his semen is very acidic. Semen is very acidic. So therefore it can throw off your pH, and sometimes chemistry just don't mix. Like your man chemistry can just mess you up because y'all chemistry don't mix well. And that has happened to friends that I know. Now, I also want to point out that every man that you have sex with unprotected, he changes your smell. So like we said earlier, men, women, everybody has a smell down there, right? Everybody has everybody has a body smell, right? Everybody has a scent. But when you have sex with a man unprotected, he changes your scent. And I actually had a friend come up to me and say, hey, me and my boyfriend recently just started having unprotected sex, and it doesn't smell, but it's just a different smell down there. Is that normal? And I'm like, yes. Every man has a different smell, and he can change the smell of your ladyhood based off of his chemistry and bacteria. And I would say it takes about 3 months for your body to detox that. So if you're a woman and you're having intimacy with one guy and then y'all end up breaking up and y'all kind of still messing around and then you end up meeting somebody else and then you end up messing around with him and then all of a sudden you just start smelling really bad. It's like, oh my God, why am I smelling? First of all, you have Steve and Jake mixing up in your lady parts and it's not a good combination.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're with different men unprotected, that's going to make you smell because it changes your body chemistry down there anyway. There's DNA. Men are leaving DNA inside of you every time you allow someone to have unprotected sex with you. That's why they say that it is a spiritual thing when you decide to do that. So you need to be very careful of her and stand up for yourself. If no one's going to stand up for her, she's going to get used and abused. So at least you can do is protect yourself before you become messed up. I would also say stop using Bath and Body Works. Like you said earlier, you were saying that there's women out there that have this like canvas of body washes that they use and scrubs and everything. I stick to Dove and I use Honey Pot. That's my go-to. Dove has never led me wrong. I don't use all those scented soaps and stuff like that. I use Dove.
Right.
That's it. I mean, I could use Dove, the regular one, or just some of the flavor ones, the scented ones.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but Dove has never strayed me wrong, and Honey Pot is really good for down there. And it's good to, I would say, use a towel to wash down there. I would say use a towel, not a sponge or like one of the scrubs, because when you're using that, it's not really getting in the corner.
Getting in there.
It's not getting in there.
I feel like even that you're being led to say that says a lot. Because I just feel like that's something that we all should know. Your loofah's not getting in there, sis.
It's sad because a lot of women don't. They have daughters and no one taught them how to clean themselves properly. So how are they going to teach their daughters to clean themselves properly? Also, I want to say, if you're in this, I need y'all to get those likes up as well. I have about 17, 18 people watching, and we need to get those likes up on the video so we can get pushed to the algorithm, so we can help these women learn how to, better them,
properly take care of themselves.
Because a lot of women don't know. They think spraying down there and stuff like that. Because baby, sometimes you just need to go ahead and plug it up and go to the doctor. If you're trying to stick things up there, these steams and everything like that. Sometimes it's the man that you need to get rid of. And if it's not a man, sometimes you just need to go to the doctor and you need to advocate for yourself, because there's some doctors that's like, oh, I don't smell anything. But they smell all types of stuff, right? But if you know that something is off, you ask them, well, you may not smell something, but I know that something's off with me. Therefore, I want to go get tested. I want to get every test. I want to get BB tested. I want to get yeast infection tested. I want to get tested for every type of STIs. I want to get tested and see what this is, because something is throwing off my pH. I will also suggest eating yogurt and taking antibiotics. I mean, not antibiotics, taking probiotics. Sorry. Taking probiotics is really good for not only for your gut health, but it's also good for your lady parts down there. Taking a probiotic every day really helps her out. Detoxing. Okay. Let's talk about it. Sometimes you need to detox a couple of them men that you didn't mess with in the past, because maybe that trauma is still laying up in your body. That trauma is still up in there. His DNA is still up in there. And sometimes you need to do an enema, and that's clean out your colon area, and your intestines. But also doing maybe a juicing or something like that to clean out your body. And also, I would suggest, actually, hold on right quick. I'm gonna go grab it right quick. Hold on.
Okay. Partying.
Okay. This is called olive oil suppositories. This is ozone. Um, ozone olive oil suppository. You can get these online. I think they're on Amazon or just like pure. They're probably not on Amazon. But if you can screenshot this, I'm gonna hold it up one more time. I'm gonna hold it up one more time for y'all. I know I recommended this to a woman who was suffering from HPV. She had HPV, and I would get the sensitive kind as well. These are suppositories. You can stick them up both ways, rectum or your vaginally, and they basically heal you from. It starts pulling out things and cleaning out ozone gas that is known to heal cancer, to clean out their body. So I would recommend ozonated suppositories, because I recommended these to a friend that had HPV, and she was cleared. She said that she started using them, I think, like once a week or something like that. They're not to be used every day, but if you are a woman who have like HPV or a yeast infection, or you had like a STI or something like that, these are really good after your antibiotics, of course, or your medicine or whatever. These are good to use to heal your body and heal your womb. She used them for about, I think, 6 months, and she went back to the doctor to get checked, and the cells and all of that, the what if she had a irregular pap smear or something like that where she potentially has HPV, it was gone. It was gone. So HPV can heal on its own, but it may take
they
a couple.
repair themselves.
Huh? What'd you say?
I just said the cells repair themselves.
Yeah, the cells repair themselves, but depending on your age, it may take longer. But using the ozonated suppositories can increase the cells to heal faster. And she was able to heal hers within a couple of months. She probably healed it even before then, but she only got checked within 6 months after being diagnosed with that or something. But yeah, so I would recommend that as well. Also, stop. You need to work out, okay? If you are overweight, you are going to sweat more, okay? You are going to sweat more. Things are going to, be a little suffocated, especially you got them thick thighs down there. What would you recommend? Keela, you got some thick thighs. What would you recommend for the ladies that have some thick thighs down there and it kind of get a little hot? What would you recommend?
Honestly, you just have to be proactive because there's not much you can do to stop it, especially depending on where you live. Like right now, I'm in Vegas. It's 107 degrees outside. So sometimes it's just going to happen. You just have to be proactive. You have to know what works for your body, what doesn't work for your body. Give yourself a time frame. Start paying attention. Log yourself. What I did actually was I took a week to just log my body before I did anything to see what happened in this situation. So then I got a better, clear understanding of how I work, so I know how I can work with or against it. And it's just something simple as that.
Okay, cool. Also, what else? I have wrote down some notes for y'all. Yeah, I think I pretty much said. Also, stop drinking a lot of dark liquor. Stop drinking a lot of dark liquor.
You need some water, honey.
You need some water. So a lot of girls, what they do, they go to the club, right? And they're drinking dark liquor. They ain't really had no water in their system that day. They drinking dark liquor. Guess what that liquor is doing? It's coming out of your pores, okay? And it's coming out of your pores and every creases and crevice of your body. Therefore, it's going down into your lady cat too. That's throwing her smell off as well. Then you partying and dancing. Some girls will go after the club, meet a guy, or go to their little boo thing house that they've been messing with after the club, dancing and twerking, and then go bust that thing, and then think that it's supposed to, like, girl, just because you drunk and don't smell nothing doesn't mean he ain't smelling it, okay? So if you want to go to your little boo thing house, you need to go and freshen up and drink some water. You need to go and some water, and stop drinking so much dark liquor. Because if you do drink dark liquor and that's your go-to liquor, drink some. You need to be drinking water 24/7 before you even pick up a glass of dark liquor. Okay, that's just alcohol in general, but dark liquor, it throws your girl off. Yeah, like I said, diet change, eating more veggies, drinking more water, detoxing your body, I want to put that up there. Keela, yes, you are doing amazing. Yes, someone else said, tell them simple practices like eating healthy and drinking water is enough. And that is true. Definitely, definitely, definitely. No one teaches them safe sex practices, healthy lifestyle choices, simple things like drinking enough water daily, juice, sugar, low, choosing healthier foods. Yes, yes. Sugar can definitely throw that off as well. Too much sugar. If you're suffering from a lot of yeast infections, you may want to stop eating a lot of bread and sugar. What else did I said, yeah, you need to use a towel to clean down there for sure. And use a clean towel. Change your towel out. Stop using that old rag that's been sitting up there for a week long. Okay. Also, it could be what you're washing your clothes with.
A week.
What? People be using them old little dirty rags just sitting up. Men too. Girl, I've been to some men houses where that rag be dried up and you be like, how long has that rag been sitting there? How long has it been sitting there? That's a little disgusting. Not cleaning anything. It's just spreading up the germs that you've been collected on that towel for the past week or so. Okay. And same vice versa for women as well. Please change your rags. Please change your rags, please. Also, just like dark liquor, stop eating fast food every day. Stop eating so much fast food like McDonald's. Because sometimes your cooter cat is going to smell like what you've been eating, which is a lot of McDonald's. And then you're wondering why it's thrown off. And you're like, well, you didn't eat a Big Mac this week. You didn't ate French fries this week. You didn't drunk soda this week. You didn't have dark liquor. And it's not good. It's not good. It's all about your diet as well and what you're eating. Also, wear cotton underwear. I know you ladies like to wear your little thongs. I know some women don't like to wear no underwear at all. But the thing is that it's good to not wear it at night. Let her breathe at night. But to walk around, if you live in a city where it's hot, baby, put some cotton underwear on because there's juices flowing and there's sweat happening. And you need to wear something to collect all of that. Okay, maybe some liners as well. That will be helpful. I live in Texas. I live in Houston, Texas specifically. Okay, and it's hot down here. And a lot of y'all walking around with no underwear on, collecting sweat and dirt and dust and everything and just letting it swoop off. No, ma'am. Stop wearing them tight. It's okay to wear tight clothes at times. Stop wearing them every day. Stop wearing them coochie cutters, shorts all the time. Your girl can't breathe. Therefore, she's suffocating. Therefore, she's hot. Therefore, she's collecting bacteria. That's not good, okay? Because you know what I'm talking about. Them girls that be wearing them coochie cutters every day, every single day. And I would say also just make sure you shower before you are intimate. That would be my recommendations. I know my recommendations are kind of long, but I wanted to be informative. Akilah, what would be your recommendations as an esthetician, as a professional waxer, as a licensed professional? What would be your recommendations for these young ladies in this age group that's having trouble in that area?
Oh, yes.
What would be your recommendations? Can you hear me? I don't know if she can hear me. Can you hear me? I think it's playing. Can you hear me? I don't know if she can hear me. Oh no, I think she froze. But going into it, I think she's trying to. I can't hear you. You're up. Okay, I can hear you. I think we can hear you now. I don't know if it's. Look, she's in Vegas, y'all. I don't know how the
respect on my name.
Oh yeah. Put some respect on that name. I'm just trying to see if you can hear me. What would be your recommendation?
Honestly, truly, just the simple.
Oh no, I think her Wi-Fi is out a little bit. I think her Wi-Fi is out.
Is making sure your shower hygiene. No.
Okay, wait. I don't know how.
Is it lagging?
It was lagging really bad. I had to add you on again. I think it added you on.
How did that happen?
I don't know. It had you on here twice. But okay, can you start over and let us know what would be your recommendations? Because those are my recommendations, but what are your recommendations? Did it do it again? Dang, every time I ask her this question, the internet be hating. We trying to save these women out here, these young women out here. And also put, you know what, the natural deodorant, I'm sorry, but some of y'all don't live in cities where you're able to get away with a natural deodorant. And if you sweat a lot, if you're dealing with somebody, if you're somebody who deals with a lot of sweating and you sweat a lot, I would recommend bringing an extra pair of underwear in your purse and a disposal bag or something to put that in, because maybe you need to change it out. Can you hear me now? Yeah, her internet. I'm gonna let her come back. I know her Wi-Fi. She's in Vegas right now, so the Wi-Fi is kind of trash out there. Okay, let me go ahead and bring her back on and see if her internet. Akilah, we're gonna be asking you, what are your recommendations? Let's see. Is it gonna pop up? Let's see. It is not popping up. Maybe log out and then log back in to see if it's gonna work as well. I see her kind of moving, but yeah, she's gonna have to deal with her Wi-Fi. Look, y'all, I understand because they probably got AT&T, because I have AT&T and AT&T sucks. I need to change to Xfinity ASAP. But yeah, I hope you guys learned a lot from the esthetician that I brought on. And then I'm going to tag her YouTube channel to this video as well. I tagged her YouTube channel on my community tab. So let's see. Okay, there we go. There we go. It's much better. It's much better. Can you hear me?
Much better?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can hear. Can you hear me?
Yes. Okay. So can you give the girlies
well, I guess it wasn't much better then.
Huh? Okay, can you give the girlies some tips on how to?
So you can hear me now.
Yeah, I can hear you now. Yeah. Can you give the girls some tips on how to, keep themselves hygienic and how to clean themselves and make sure they're smelling good? Every time. Okay, she got to step outside.
Yes, I had to come outside.
Okay. Did you hear the question though?
What are my tips about hygiene?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. So I would just start at the simplest form. Re-educate yourself on how to clean. There are a bunch of podcasts out there that you can listen in on with other professionals, gynecologists that actually talk about these things. Redo your shower care. Stop using all the scented things. They don't help. Stop having multiple partners because, as B. Taylor have already explained to you guys, that plays a huge part in what's going on with your body. And get waxed, honestly. Like, shaving is not doing the job. You're having ingrowns, it's not getting clean properly. Get
Ooh,
waxed. It's part of hygiene. Just get it done. You're sweating, it's hot, girl. You don't want no sweat stuck up in there.
yes.
Get it done.
How can you also know if you smell? Like for those who don't know if they smell. I say for me, do a smell check. It's just
Yes, that's
you can do it in the shower.
simple.
And actually, I would say do it out of the shower because if you have BV, no matter how many times you shower, once you stick it up there and smell it, if it smells like it's off, then you got BV. So I would say do a smell check, sticking it there and smelling it, and if it doesn't smell pleasant to you, then something's wrong. What would you say
Right.
recommend as well? What are some other recommendations? Because they really want to hear from the professional licensed esthetician
Mm-hmm.
who's also
Honestly,
got point,
oh,
period.
I can do a couple things,
Yeah, she's
but as far as a smell check, honestly, truly, just pay attention to your underwear. So you know how all women have discharge. Look up the different meanings of the different colors and if it bleaches and all that. Pay attention to your underwear.
oh, okay.
That's the biggest.
That's a really good one. What is to look out for? What's not normal and what's normal?
So it's different for everybody, right? So normally I would say, your discharge is supposed to be like a cloudy, clear, whitish. If it gets anything different from that, I would just see a doctor.
If it's
Or not see a doctor because it may not be that important, but just if you notice, like, what did I say? Yeah. So normally it should be like more of a clear, cloudy white type of color. But
Mhm.
if it gets too thick, if it gets too yellow, if it gets any other color other than that white cloudy, then I would start just doing more research about what your body is supposed to look like. And just again, see your doctor, see your gynecologist, go get your checkups there once a month, y'all. We all got health insurance. They do one free a year. So go get it.
Yeah, well, some people don't have health insurance, but there are free clinics that you can go to.
Mm-hmm.
There are programs that you can sign up for. I know when I was in college, I didn't have insurance, and I couldn't afford the college on campus insurance because I didn't live on campus. But I did sign up for a program where they did free testing, free HIV testing, free
Mm-hmm.
STI testings, and all I had to do was put down that I didn't have an income and my information,
Mm-hmm.
and they did free testing. So they do have programs like that. You just have to look them up. I don't know about Planned Parenthood. I've never been there specifically, but I went to a clinic before where they did free testing, or I just had to pay like a copay, like a $30
Mm-hmm.
copay or something like that, and get all my
Mm-hmm.
testing done. That's what I did in college when like I wanted to know my status before after every person that I've been with or was intimate with or whatever like that.
Mm-hmm.
But also, a lot of girls think that they have a juice box. And some of that is like, you know what I'm saying? Some girls are like, oh, like they think that having watery discharge is a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
And
Oh
that's
yeah.
not normal. That's not normal when
Right.
you are walking and it's just, that's not
Yeah.
normal. That's a
Tighten
sign
up.
of BV or some type
Right.
of STI or something like that. Because I've seen something like that on Instagram where girls are like, "Well, I just got that." No, that's not juice box, baby. That's some extra stuff that's coming out of your body. That's basically trying to tell you. And I'm very in tune with my body. And I think before you get
Mm-hmm.
sexually active, be in tune with your body because if you're in tune with your body's gonna tell you that something is wrong. It's
I would
every
even go as far to say, because I know we were talking about like different sexual partners and after you do things, I would just say before. So I know it's a hard conversation to have, but even just something as simple as, hey, lover, intimate partner, let's go do this together. Let's get tested together. So that way before there even is a smell change, before there even is a whatever change, you both know, okay, well, it's because I don't have this, and this. Okay, well, let's just cut that out instead of taking the risk and then having to deal with that later. So go ahead and cut that part out. Know that both of you are clean. Go together. Bring it up. And then if they are a little, I always say this, before I have any intimate partner, I always say, let's go get tested together. If the answer is not immediately, okay, yeah, when do you want to go? If I get any resistance, I'm done. I'm not doing it, because you should want to be clean and you should want me to be clean.
Yeah,
and
you
that's
know,
just simple.
I'm glad you said that, because a lot of men are very resistant on that. Because a lot of people are not having sex with people they're committed to. So if they're casually just hooking up with this person, that person doesn't feel as obligated to go and get tested with you specifically, because you're not somebody they're committed to. So it is harder for women to stand up for themselves, but if you, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Like, you need to stand up for yourself. But I can see where women, young women specifically, where they go wrong in that era, because they go, well, I don't want to make it awkward. I don't want to ruin the moment. I don't want to let him know when I'm going to sleep with him and ask him to go get tested. I don't want to kill the vibe in the moment. And really, that one little moment can ruin your entire life. It can ruin your entire life. It can ruin. I don't care if you're on birth control or not. That man says, well, you're on birth control, right? I'm clean. I'm good. Especially these athletes out here, because they'll sit there and tell you, I'm good. I'm clean. I'm good. I get tested every month, and they be the dirtiest ones. Right after they go get tested, they go and have unprotected sex with somebody who's probably not clean. And it's like, for all these men to be catching this, there has to be a lot of women out there who are not clean as well. We can't just put this all on the men and say the men are the dirty ones, when there's a lot of women who are very dirty because they're not taking care of themselves. They're not going to the doctor. They're changing sex partners. They believe, well, my man, I don't care if you were in a dedicated relationship for I don't know how many years. There's married women who still go get tested once a year. My OBGYN was like, I've been married for 14 years and I still get tested every year, because you just never know. You never know. There's so many women out here walking around with an STI with their boyfriend because they don't want to face the truth that their man may have stepped out on them and had sex with somebody else. And no, having an STI does not mean you're dirty, because there's women out there who end up getting burned and was in dedicated relationships who end up getting cheated on, or a man end up lying about his status. So that can happen. That's why, like Akilah said, it is important to go and get tested together. Me and Brandon, we went and got tested together, and it was like crazy, because we went and got our HIV tests together, and we stand there looking at each other like it was intense, because I was, and then he even was like, I feel a little dizzy. It was because it's like, wow, we're in front of each other. It's not between we're in front of it. It was like a very vulnerable moment, and it's a very I can't explain the moment, but it was a very vulnerable moment. A lot of people are not willing to be vulnerable like that. And actually, when we were at the clinic, they even told us, you guys are the first couple that we ever had to come in and get tested together like this. They said usually couples come in separately. They don't come in together.
Wow.
And they was giving us the tea. They was like, yeah, we didn't have some couples come in and one was positive and one wasn't. And we was like, oh, like, no, we were like in front of each other and ready to be vulnerable with each other and ready to take on whatever that came up. Obviously, of course, we were good, but it was just the most like intense moment, because it was like, I never done this with somebody else. Together we went separately. But if you are in a committed relationship, I do believe that if you're not in a committed relationship, stop having unprotected sex with these men. I don't care if it feels good. I don't care if it feels better. If you're allergic to condoms, there are latex free ones. There are what is it, lambskin or something like that?
Lambskin, yeah.
Yeah, what do you know any other suggestions that women can use if they are allergic to condoms?
Don't do it.
Okay. That's easier said than done, but yeah. I just want to be realistic, because a lot of women say like, don't do it, but that's not
well, me personally, I'm not 100% clear on that matter, because I'm not intimate in that way. The lambskin I've heard is a really good option. Other than that, there are latex-free condom choices available. There are lady condoms available that you can use that are a little bit more curated to be friendly to our girl. They're weird to use and they look intimidating, but try the lady condoms if the guys just aren't giving the proper care in the condoms, honestly. But try the lambskin and try the lady condoms.
And
Those
I do
are
stop having casual sex. I think that a lot of the young girlies are not going to listen to that. They're going to do what they want to do. So I'm going to give
course.
advice. I'm still going to give the advice to them because we need to protect ourselves. The STI rates, there was a stat that was released where the most cities have the highest STD, STI rates, and chlamydia and gonorrhea are chlamydia specifically runs very high on college campuses. So there's a lot of college students running around with chlamydia because it's undetected. There's no signs. A lot of people don't have any symptoms for it. So, you know, I'm just gonna say, if you're a college student out there, your parents told you to keep your grades up, don't drink and drive, but they don't really get into the aspect of protecting yourself sexually. A lot of parents are so scared to give their children this type of advice and everything.
100%.
Yeah.
Just realistically, I don't think, and I've had this conversation with a couple of my friends, especially in multiple group settings with different groups of friends. None of us have actually even had the sex talk. I know growing up, I was just told not to do it and to be careful. And that's honestly just as far as it went. Everything else that I knew, it was either trial and error, even though it wasn't that much of that, but was definitely just trying to educate myself because at the end of the day, I'm afraid to have something. I'm afraid because I have a future goal, even though it may not be in reach right now. I want to get married and have kids. And even though now there's better technology for different things and diseases and infections, it's not 100% that you can just go to the doctor and get this fixed. You know what I mean? And I'd rather just not have to deal with that. So I took the initiative to be more educated about my body. And it's just as simple as that. So again, like you were saying, we don't know. I didn't know anything. I just went to college and just went. You know what I'm saying? But I think for us, as far as like we're talking about breaking generational curses in every other aspect, especially mentally, especially for our culture, that also has to be a part of it.
Yeah, I think a lot of parents are scared to talk about. Well, first I want to say shout out to I am Courtney Michelle. Thank you for the super chat.
Hi, Court.
Yes, but I would like to say that a lot of parents are scared to talk about protecting themselves from sex because they feel like they're encouraging their child to have sex if they talk about sex with them, and that they're letting them. They feel like I'm letting them think that it's okay that you're having sex if I talk about it. No, the reality is people are going to do it. We can sit here and say, a lot of people can say, well, don't close your legs and don't have sex and don't do this and don't do that. People get into relationships. People get into intimacy. Intimacy has been going on. Sex has been going on for centuries. I mean, it's been running rampant for years and years and years. You can't just tell people no. No matter how many laws were put into place, people were still being promiscuous and out there having sex. So the reality is to educate people so they can protect themselves, and younger people can protect themselves to prevent people from spreading, diseases and bacteria, and protecting themselves and their children and their lives, and not have them ruin their lives for a moment. Because I have definitely ran across in my younger days where men are like, I don't like using condoms, and if we gotta use one, I don't want to do anything. And a lot of women with low self-esteem, a lot of women who's easily influenced or pressured or have no self-worth fall for these tactics. They're like, well, I don't want him to stop not talking to me, or I don't want him to not like me, or I want him to see me. Women think of sex as like, I'm giving you my body, and I'm also allowing you to feel good enjoying my body without using protection. this sounds crazy, but there's so many women who think like that. Like, I'm giving you something precious that a lot of women are not giving you. And it's a reason why these women are not giving this man their body unprotected, because they're protecting themselves. But in your mind, you're looking at it like, I'm giving my all to you so you can give me you as well, and that you can protect me. But it's not up to that man to protect you. It's up to you to protect you.
100%.
100%. It's up to you to protect you, because you're going to be sitting in that doctor's office alone. He's not going to be with you. Best believe it. You're going to be one dealing with those results by yourself.
Those results, those emotions, everything else that comes after that. Because worst case scenario is that child, or not child, because realistically, that child is going to be sitting somewhere with their parents, or their young adult is going to be sitting there somewhere by themselves. It's embarrassing. I think it's the biggest embarrassment that we can go through. And having to deal with, say somebody did contract an STD, which is permanent instead of an STI, what do you do now?
People
What
don't
are
even
your
know
options now?
People don't even know the
Really?
difference between an STI and an STD. They call STDs STIs and STIs STDs. It's crazy. An STD is something that's permanent, like herpes. An STD is like HIV. An STI is something that does have a cure, but now there's called super chlamydia, where apparently you can get chlamydia, but it's hard to cure it, and you have to keep going through where it fights the antibiotic. It's called super chlamydia.
Wow.
Where you'll go get tested.
Okay, that's definitely a rabbit hole I'm about to fall down.
Yeah, I actually knew a girl that I mentored, and she contracted super chlamydia. What did she say? She said, because I had to mentor her out of, she needed a lot of guidance. And so I was, talking to her and helping her. And she said she just felt she said she felt like she couldn't shake something, not only a heartbreak, she was also going through a heartbreak, but she couldn't shake the fact that parts of him and his destruction was left inside of her. So she said that it was like she had to go through it every time she went to the doctor, because she went to the doctor, found out she had it, took medication. She said she had to go back, was it 3 months or a month later or something like that? She had to go back and get retested, and she kept testing positive. She said she went and it gave her more antibiotics, which was making her sick, making her stomach messed up, gave her diarrhea. She was throwing up, stuff like that. She had to go through that once again. I think she said I don't know how long she had to take it for. And then she said she had to wait another couple of weeks again, go back. She tested positive again. And she was like, I just couldn't understand why I couldn't get rid of him. That's how she took it, as she couldn't get rid of him. So not only she had to deal with heartbreak, but she had to get rid of this STI that wouldn't go away. And she said it took 3 times for it to finally go away.
Wow.
3 times. Could you imagine keep getting tested over and over again, testing positive for 3 different times, and you were celibate? She was like, celibacy is very safe, and I highly recommend it. I was celibate for 3.5 years, and I just felt great because I went to bed with peace. I didn't have nobody, it's a spiritual thing sexually as well. I didn't have
to piggyback off of that. In college, I had a friend, and he was a straight man, a very good guy. When I say, like, he was a lover boy, because I'm going to give this to the other side as well. He was a lover boy, and he was a virgin. And he was telling me, Akilah, I really like this girl. She's a partier. Da, da, da. I don't know if I can keep up. I really like her, though, and she seems to really like me. So he lost his virginity to her. Obviously, she had already been not obviously, but she had already been sexually active. And he lost his virginity to her, and then she burned him. And he got an STD. I don't remember which one it was, but it was an STD. And now it grew from one thing to another, and he's going to have to deal with that the rest of his life. The first girl, so
I'm glad you shared that because we don't usually hear the other side. I feel like men are very silent when it comes down to that. Wow. That like broke my heart. Like just hearing that, I'm in shock to hear that a man experience.
You ever seen a grown man cry for real? Oh my goodness. Might check on him after we get off of this.
Yeah. Sending him love. Because I actually had a guy friend where he found out his girlfriend cheated on him because he caught chlamydia. He caught chlamydia from her. And he was, that's the first time I actually heard a guy cry like that. I mean, he was like, he was hurting and he had the symptoms of it. He was burning and stuff like that. And he was like, why am I burning? And she was like, I don't know. I don't have anything because I don't have any symptoms. And then that's when he found out that she cheated on him with another guy.
Another guy.
And he was so hurt. So men get burned too. Men are just not as vocal as about it. Actually, a lot of people are not vocal about it. That's why they go undetected. That's why they have all these problems and they're smelling bad because they don't like to get tested for it. Now, I do want to go back to Nick Cannon because I forgot to add this part, is that Nick Cannon probably come across women who smell bad because he's also in that industry where women are very sexually active. And they're having very free and sexually active with their Fashion Nova outfits, coochie cutting up to their drawers. And, they don't have the best health. They don't go get checked as much as they should. I mean, we just saw that Instagram model who was very sexually active and she was linked to like artists like Chris Brown and other,
not Christopher Maurice. Please don't do it to me.
Huh?
I said, not Christopher Maurice. Please don't do it to me.
Well, and she was connected to Nick Cannon, and she even said to herself, I went undetected for so long because I wasn't going to go get tested as much as I should. And so a lot of the celebrities, a lot of them, they body swap with each other. A lot of people say, why do celebrities always mess with the same women? They messing with the same women. They sharing DNA with the same women. They sharing bacteria with the same women. If you're body dipping in all these people and not giving your body a break with like a year break from sex as a woman or as a man, you're going to be carrying certain bacteria on you, period, point blank. So a lot of these celebrity Instagram girls, they're probably dealing with a lot of stuff. That's why yoni steams are so popular. That's why the pearl is so popular. That's why, all this stuff about hygiene is so popular and being marketed because a lot of these women are suffering from these things. And I would say, give your body a detox from sex.
I'm glad you actually brought the Instagram thing up because I've waxed many Instagram models. And if you want me to be 100%, those women were the worst smells that I've ever smelled in my life. I'm talking about the cutest little thing, over 100,000 followers on Instagram, brand deals, Fashion Nova, all this. And her little body, because she was so small, was just so potent. And it's just like, how? You're so beautiful.
I think you're on mute.
No, yeah, I turned it off because he was backing up and I didn't want it to interfere with just the comfortability of the call. So I turned it off for a second. But she was hands down the worst, and I'll never forget her. I will show you her Instagram later.
We're not gonna put her out there on that, but we keep it. I got some tea on some celebrities as well, just because of how connected I am. You'll be real surprised of your favorite celebrity that loves to twerk, how much their BO is not right. I've definitely heard that celebrity women.
I know where you're going.
I know, but I can't say because I'm not gonna do that.
I know you cannot. Yeah, we'll talk later.
Yeah, we'll talk later. But definitely they had a smell and it didn't smell right, and they'll be spraying themselves with all these like sprays and stuff like that. And it's to the point where men think that smell is normal. Where there's some men who are like, wow, you smell so good, or you're just so clean, or I don't smell, or something like that. They're so surprised because they thought that that's normal.
Wow.
Like, think about it. Nick Cannon has said women smell, right? And he said he's surprised when he meet a woman that doesn't smell.
Yeah, that's alarming, actually.
So that says a lot about the women that he's messed with, a lot of the Instagram girls, because I actually heard a story where a girl was an Instagram model as well, was messing with a man who has money, and she basically told him, you don't have to use protection. You don't have to use it. Like, she was saying it like she was doing him a favor. And he said that she was ready for him to, and he said that she smelled up the whole entire room. Like Nick Cannon said, they'd be smelling up the whole room. Smelling up the entire room. That's what he said. He said that he told her that, nah, I'm good. And she was like, what? You don't, but I think he still hit, but he ain't gonna tell me all of that. I think he still did. He had to light a candle in his room to just get rid of the smell because it still lingered after. And there's some men who think that that's normal, or the woman is so beautiful. They're like, well, why would I pass this up? Why would I not? There's some men out there that's like that. That's like, well, this is my only chance, and I don't get it too often, so I guess I'll take it. Or they think that that's normal. They think that that's normal. Right. That's why they're like, oh, I don't like to, do certain things with women because I don't like how it is down there. And it's like, it shouldn't be like that. And it says, it's kind of sad. This is a real discussion. Like, y'all really out here walking around nasty. And it's like, it's sad, but it's supposed to, I want to educate women. I want to educate a lot of these women, because I would say, and I feel it spiritually, if you are a woman, Instagram model or so, and you're dealing with this, detox your body for a year. I know it sounds like a lot, but you need to get rid of that trauma. You need to get rid of that spiritual attachment. You need to heal not only the inside and outside, but you need to heal as a whole person. And just take yourself a year, or give yourself 6 months to just heal and watch how your body repairs itself. Our body is amazing. Our body repairs itself. But I would say a year would be the best option to give yourself, because you'll crave, it's weird how you'll crave sex for a couple of months after you stop having sex. And then I would say by the 6 months to like almost year mark, you'll stop craving it, because you expelled that spirit. And I don't know what kind of spirit 100%. It is. I don't comment what kind of spirit that is, but you're detoxing it.
Yes, I'm actually kind of going through that right now. I just had a very tremendous breakup, and at first I was going through all of these like emotions, especially with my lady parts of being just like, what you doing, like where you at? And it's just like, after a time now, I'm good. Like, I feel like I don't want to connect that way spiritually with anybody, and also I am just free. Like, I don't feel the need to want to do it all the time. I have big Scorpio energy. That's my sign.
Period.
We know how my brain works. And we know how my body works. But right now, it's just like, if I do, I do. If I don't, even better. So it'll take some time, but you can get there. I promise.
I think that's the most enlightening thing, is to be celibate. It's a willpower that a lot of women don't have, because they're dealing with a lot of sexual trauma where they need to have sex. If they don't, it's because if you're a woman and you feel like, I used to hear women say, oh my God, I couldn't go that long without having sex. I couldn't go 3 months long without having sex. And it's like, baby, you got trauma. That's not called active. That's called not having self-control. That's called some things you need to deal with. You didn't got a sex spirit on you or something, because for you to say, I need it, it's like you're looking for something other than the actual intimacy. You're looking for something deeper, like a partnership. You feel like you need somebody to hold you, hug you, be intimate with. Like, why can't you be by yourself?
Right.
because then you end up hurt after that anyway, because it doesn't work out.
100%.
Casual sex does not work. It doesn't.
I don't know anyone that has had casual sex with someone and then they're just completely happy. I mean, I know one person, not her personally, but I watch her podcast, and you know her as well, Shan Booty. She's the only person I know that it has worked for, but also that comes with maturity.
So it's like, look how she's in the 1% of somebody who actually got married to somebody she was having casual sex with. But she didn't have casual sex with a man who wasn't on her same. He was feeling her. That's why he married her. He wanted to be with her. She just didn't want to be with him as much as he wanted to be with her. But he was waiting.
Again, that goes to emotional maturity.
Right. He was waiting on her more so. A lot of women are having casual sex with men who don't want them. They're waiting for the woman that they want. So they're using you until they get what they want. And a lot of women were like, well, why he having unprotected sex with me, and why he coming inside of me? And it's like, because you're
letting him.
Because you're letting him. It doesn't mean you're special. It doesn't mean he love you. It doesn't mean, well, why is he taking this risk with me? A lot of women confuse that up. We confuse sex up with love. And that's why I say a lot of women think like, oh, well, because he's coming inside of me and he's risking having a baby with me, that means he probably wants to have a baby with me. So a lot of women end up getting pregnant and say, well, we planned this baby technically, or he wanted to have this baby because he was saying all of this and this. Yeah, he was saying all of it in the moment. But he's not showing it because he didn't commit to you. He didn't make you his woman. Or he's inconsistent with you. It's about the actions, not the words. It's and not the words or actions during intimacy either, because anything goes during intimacy. People will tell you they want to marry you. Girl, people, I want to marry you. I want to make you my wife. Girl, he's just telling you anything to make you the juice box keep flowing. That's what he's doing. He's trying to make you more it's a spiritual thing, because now you all feel good mentally. You feeling like you're connected with him, where it's pleasing him because your body is doing what it's supposed to do, because he's saying the things that you want to hear. It's all a game. It's all a game. So
very much a mind game.
It is a mind game. It is a mind game, and casual sex does not work because it's nothing. Casual sex, honestly, like, I'm gonna be transparent. When I was in college, I first got in college, I had met this guy. It was like a casual thing, right? It was honestly like, after that, we didn't hang out, we didn't watch movies. I was like, deuces, bye. And I was talking to another guy, and it sounds crazy, but I did not want to sleep with him because I actually liked him. But the other guy was like, I don't really like you. I don't talk to you. I don't text you. I only text you when I need something. And that's it. Then I found myself saying, why am I doing this? I want something more. It feels incomplete. It feels empty, and it feels lonely. And I don't want to try to trick myself into trying to hang out with him because it makes me try to feel better. Like, if it's casual, casual. I'm not going to text you how your day is going. I'm not going to ask you. I didn't ask him how his day was going. I said, hey, what you doing this weekend? Okay, cool. Are you available this when I go out and I'll come over? Oh, okay, you available? Okay, cool. I'll come over at this time. But it was weird because it was like there was no kissing. There was it was nothing. It was like just very casual. And I was like, nah, I want something more than this. This is not good. This is not good. Right. This is not how intimacy is supposed to feel. It's supposed to feel intimate. Not do intimacy.
That's something that I've been preaching to a lot of my friends lately is, before I'll allow somebody to be intimate with me physically, I need to see how you are mentally. I don't care if we almost do it. I don't care how close we get to it. Sometimes teetering that line of, okay, you're in my head and my body wants you, is enough. I say this even personally. Being intimate physically is great. It doesn't do it for me. I need an experience. I need from sun up to sundown, I need the experience. And if my experience is not there, then physically it's not doing anything for me. So I need the experience. So definitely something casual is off the table. It can't happen. So with that being said, learning what I want, because obviously I haven't always been this way, learning what I want, learning what helps me feel good, it can't happen.
Yeah. I agree. I didn't know what good sex was until I knew spiritual and mental connection. And it's so dangerous to have spiritual and mental connection with somebody you're casually having sex with. What are you doing? You're setting yourself up for failure. So when I was younger, I thought sex was like something you see in the movies. It was all about pleasing the man. And I actually had friends, I had to teach them to like sex because they were having sex with their partner and they didn't enjoy it. They didn't like it. They thought that, it's for the man. It's not for them. I'm like, but when you're enjoying it, yeah, there's women out there that think that gets pleasure from a man getting pleasure from them, that they're able to make this man be vulnerable by what is it called? Having a release. Them is saying, I did something. I allowed that man to feel good and feel great. He's gonna remember me. He's gonna love me. He's gonna love that. All he's thinking of, no, men don't think of sex that way. They don't think of sex that way at all. They just try to get that release in, and then those feelings and everything they were saying about you goes away once they get that release. So they don't feel that way about you. They're just trying to get a mission done, and they'll say whatever they need to say to get that mission done, right? So a lot of women think, oh, I just want to lay back and just please him and do all these things to him, and I love oral and doing all this stuff because I love pleasing the man. But it's like they don't even know how to please themselves. A lot of women out here having sex and don't know how to please themselves. So I told my friend, I said, girl, go buy you a rose. Go buy you a rose and be by yourself and learn what you like. Touch your body. Be intimate with yourself. See what you like. And she actually started doing that. She said, girl, I just want to thank you because me and my fiance, we are just, and because she was blaming him. She was like, you just suck at it. And he was like, no, it's you. And it was her. And she said it was her because she had sexual trauma. Wow. And she also didn't know herself. So she associated sex as something to give a man and not something that she can also enjoy with her man. So now they have great intimacy. And I was like, you welcome, girl.
Wow. You did that.
I did that. I had to learn from experience myself. I'm like, I don't even know what I like. And then that's when I started actually being picky because I'm like, I'm not about to do myself to anybody. If you're not going to please me, I'm not going to give myself to you because at the end of the day, a man can release with a sock, okay? In a hand. He can release with anything. So what makes me special? I mean, that's true. I mean,
it's facts.
They rather do it with a woman, but a man can release at any time. It doesn't matter. So
it's the same feeling.
Huh?
I said it'll be the same feeling or pretty close.
I don't know about the same.
So I've heard.
It'd be pretty close. So I say that to say that we need to start taking sex more seriously. We need to actually educate ourselves, know what we like, what we don't like, what are our boundaries, and know what we want. And a lot of girls say and lie to themselves and say, well, I don't want nothing serious. You do. You just waiting for him to tell you he wants something serious.
100%.
Or you're in a situation where you don't want to be alone. So you dealing with somebody you don't even like because it protects you. Like, oh, if I'm having sex with somebody I don't even like, it makes me feel protected because there's no feelings involved. Who wants to do that? I mean, who wants to do it all the time? But I'm saying, like, you're not really getting the full experience that you can get with that person if you're with a committed person. So I would say that it's ladies out here, be careful. Men out here, be careful. Like Nick Cannon said, a lot of them can carry that in their, what did he say in their colon?
Yeah, in the colon. I don't listen. Nick Cannon, that's. Ooh.
He said some things a lot of women are not, and the women on the panel was like that one girl that was like, no, I do a check and every girl, I'm not gonna just accuse anybody, but most of them in that industry, and they be having them BBLs, them big old butts that probably they don't even be wiping correctly. They ain't even wiping
because you can't reach.
They can't reach. They be having them long nails. Oh, I can't stand it. The women with the long nails. Like I ask them, how do you wipe properly? How do you?
And I do this. No, that's not enough.
That's not doing it. Unless you got a bidet type of toilet.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I think a little more of the wealthier ladies, they have alternative
a lot of them are dealing with
I don't think they're just wiping.
Their men are carrying bacteria. Their men are carrying bacteria. And I love me some. I'm not gonna name anybody, but I'm just gonna say a lot of these men out here be messing with all types of women. And the woman that recently, I forgot her name. It was like, oh my gosh, I can't think of her name, but she was the Instagram model that had HIV, and she was connected to all these people. A lot of women that's just not going to the doctor because they feel like, well, I don't want to know. Because I feel like, and they don't get tested specifically for HIV because they say, well, I don't want to know because they're scared. But not knowing, it's just prolonging it, and you're endangering people's lives, and you're also endangering your life because she ended up having AIDS because she was she could have prevented herself from having AIDS if she would have got tested. Not out she had HIV, but because she had HIV for so long without any medication, then it AIDS. So it's like, which one would you rather have? HIV that you can have medicine for, or would you have full blown AIDS where there's nothing they can really just do for you?
Wow.
That's scary.
At some point, I'm just so grateful that I have never had that experience, because at some point you're trying to kill me and I'm gonna sue you. So
I actually had a girl that I mentored as well. I don't know if this is the same girl, but she said that she had a fiance and he knew that he had herpes, and he gave her that.
He didn't. Wow.
He didn't feel the need to disclose that to her because he's never had an outbreak, or he hasn't had an outbreak in so long, or something like that. And he felt like,
all right.
And he told her, like, well, you can't break up with me now because nobody's going to want you because you have that.
You're going to jail, sir.
Oh, I would have sued the mess out of him, but she didn't. She ended up leaving him and stuff like that. But I would have sued him.
Definitely.
Yeah, you can sue him now. And just don't get caught up in it, and just protect yourself. And, like I said, there's tips and beginnings. If you know anybody who may need this video and may need to be enlightened, please share. Also, you can follow Miss Akilahmonroe on YouTube. I'm gonna tag her in this later. Yes, and follow her for tips and advice. She's a licensed esthetician, a licensed waxer, and I mean, she waxes at the top-notch waxing places where a lot of these Instagram models and popular girls be going. A lot of the women that like to pay money be going. So she's like certified. So if y'all want some advice from her, I definitely highly recommend y'all checking out her channel. I'm about to read this comment before we start wrapping up. Y'all know non-Black, is horrible, and that's who he deals with. I'm not gonna say nothing.
Ooh, I'm not gonna say nothing.
I'm gonna say that because Akilah, why don't you answer that? Because actually, I don't think that that's true. I think that it doesn't matter which race you are, in my opinion.
Okay, so I don't fully agree or disagree with your disagreement, because unfortunately, majority of the smells that I get are not coming from women of color. So, yes, there's maybe a handful. I could count on one hand. And, I wax all day. It's what I do. And majority is not coming from women of color. So, I wasn't going to go there. I was going to leave it alone. But since it's been brought up.
Yeah. I'm glad that's being
That
brought
is
up. That's interesting. So what race of women would you say, or what race of women do you think is more cleaner or hygienic?
I do feel that I just want to omit this question. I don't want to do it.
You don't want to do it?
I don't want to do it.
What about our race of women? Do you feel comfortable talking about our race of women?
Yeah, I can talk about Black women all day. Love us.
Okay.
It's the same. I would give it like 50-50, or not 50-50, 60-40, like I said before. Majority of the time, I don't have anything to worry about. You get the women coming straight from work. Those are the only exceptions, but just to be fresh out the shower, still coming, is very rare, honestly. So
With Black women that
with
smell.
Black women,
Okay. And then
they do. I would still give it the 60-40 split, still, but just it's not as bad.
Oh.
Or it's not as potent. But there's always a smell.
The feces one. What was that with? Was that with women of color or some other women?
Yeah, both, all of them. That is 100% even across the board for me. 100%.
Feces.
100%.
They were not clean.
You can't.
What did they have the long nails? I'm curious.
No, some of them were nurses, some of them were strippers, some of them were like it's spread
Hold
out.
on. You're not gonna pass up nurses. Nurses?
Yes, I had a nurse at a time. I don't want to give her a pass, but my body wants to say give her a pass because she had a BBL and it was fairly large, very much ant-like, but still.
See, them BBLs. A lot of y'all don't think that y'all go out and get them huge butts and not clean it. Y'all couldn't even clean y'all regular butt right, and then y'all want to go get it bigger.
You're so annoying.
Go get it bigger and then only clean it correctly.
Very ant.
Ooh. I can't imagine because it's so big. I just I don't know. I don't know, Akilah.
Yeah, it's making me nauseous thinking about it.
And then it'd be sweating, right? Don't do it sweat.
Yeah. And there's hair back there.
What? Because everybody has hair, right?
Right, yeah. Everybody has hair back there. So you're mixing your hair, sweat, feces, urine, and then you're just not getting back there properly at any time because it's just like, especially if they're not using a rag in the shower, they're only using a loofah, and they're drinking Hennessy all day with no water and eating McDonald's and Big Macs. It's all of that.
Yeah. What do you think about when Cardi B said that she gets a rag and she sticks it up her rectum and swirl it around with her finger?
I think if that's what worked for Cardi, then that works for Cardi. I don't think it has to be that serious. Yeah. Especially with them long ass, with them nails that she be wearing. I don't think it gets that serious. A bidet, they do have lesser bidets that you can buy at like Walmart or Target where you put the water in and then you like shoot it up kind of like a syringe. If it's that serious to you, which it should be, but
I think you should do an enema where you shoot water up there and clean out because some people are dealing with they're so backed up they expel poop from their think that they let out gas and it's really something else coming out with it as well. Maybe that's what that was.
Okay. Maybe possibly. Either way, you need to know. Either way, this is a hill I'm gonna die on 100% of the time. You need to know your body. We're too young. We're too old. Even if you're younger, there's too many platforms out there to educate yourself. There's too many articles. There's too many books. It's not an excuse anymore. You need to learn your body. We're not living in the 1800s where they were ashamed for talking about it.
Yeah.
Learn your body.
Yeah.
Be proactive. Get it done.
What products would you recommend ladies wash themselves? Because I know you said don't wash yourself with certain things. What products do you recommend?
So I enjoy Dove. Dove Sensitive, to be specific. That's the only one that I would use. There's this line called Fur Fur uses 100% natural products. We love fur. There you can find fur in Ulta, and then Honey Pot. Other than that, just stay away from it. Just stay away from everything else. Those are the only products that you will catch me using in my bathroom.
Don't use that. Don't use Summer's Eve.
Do not use Summer's Eve. You are going to get cancer.
I think Summer's Eve. I think some of these like intimacy wash products make you smell if you don't use it. So that's why you keep buying it, because you realize that, oh my God, I'm starting to smell bad without this product. So I need to keep buying this product to prevent myself from smelling.
Also, another thing, be aware of the sanitary products you're using. So like pads and tampons, because there's actually a lawsuit going on right now with the organic 100% cotton ones that are giving people cervical cancer. So just be proactive, research the ingredients on the back of the box, look them up. It takes time. Look it up, understand what you're using, because even those, the organic 100% cotton ones, I know a lot of people that use them. I even was going to start using them, because you think organic, you think clean, you think
I use healthy. Organic too.
You think healthy, but this specific brand, I'll send it to you because I can't think of this specific brand name right now, but it's in a clear package and you can see the tampons, they're white on the inside.
Wait, I've used those in the past. I've used those. I know what you're talking about. I actually have, I don't have them in my closet anymore, but I know what you're talking about. They're like in a clear circular container, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what's going on with them? They're giving you cervical
cancer. Yes, they're getting sued right now.
Wow. You know what? I do think that is important. If you are a girl that uses tampons, I do think that you should use pads at your heaviest, and maybe tampons when you're at your lightest, because you need to, during your cycle, that is your time when your girl cleanses herself. I feel like you should stop looking at your cycle as something that's like a training.
Disgusting.
It's you. I feel like during your cycle, you should be eating at your cleanest. You should not be drinking. You should be letting your body expel all of self-cleanse itself, because I think that it should be more of a spiritual thing for women. I think that you shouldn't be out drinking and throwing it and doing all this other stuff and having sex and doing all these things. I think you should I think that's a time for her to have her break. I think that's a time for her to have her break. Why y'all think non-Black women invented Lume on they don't have? That's what it was called. Lume. Don't have to wash. You know what? There are people that say they don't take a bath or take showers. There are a lot of people, I'm not going to say what, but I've seen certain people say that they don't take showers or take a bath. They don't feel the need to take a bath every day. I feel like even in the golden ages, the Egyptians, they had baths that they would take, milk baths that they would take. People were still bathing. So
I would never 100% agree with that. Also too, just because I love being in the shower. Do you you get a good shower head that does a good pressure? You want to be in there. So I can't speak too much on that. But yes, Summer's Eve is the devil, and so is Vagisil.
Oh yeah, I used to use those when I was in high school, because that's what the girlies was doing. They was talking about it.
That's all we had.
That's all we had was Summer's Eve, and it was like, oh wow, they marketed to us that smell like flowers down there. Girls will lie and say, oh, I smell like this dude said I taste like candy. Girl, shut up.
You tasting like alcohol and whatever other chemical products you
and use. McDonald's, not the good McDonald's, like an old bag of McDonald's that's been sitting there for about a couple of days. That's what you smell like.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness. I remember girls in high school would say, like, he said I taste like candy. And you'd be like, dang, it's supposed to taste like candy down there? Oh my God. Like, let me get some soap down there to put down there to taste like candy. And it don't.
And now you in the bathroom peeing and it hurt and you don't know why.
Yeah. And yeah, a lot of women who deal with yeast infection problems and stuff like that, I feel like that it's your diet, probiotics, drinking water, eating healthy, working out. It's going to help you. And if you are a woman who works out a lot, please know that you may have to shower. No, you do have to shower twice a day. You are sweating excessively. I believe in taking a shower. I think my boyfriend be like, you need showers. I like to take a shower. If I've been sitting in a house all day and I don't feel as fresh, I'm going to take a shower. I'm going to take a shower if I had a long day. I'm going to take a shower if I feel like I had a long night.
Exactly. If I sweat in my sleep, the first thing I do when I get up is shower.
I do sometimes, because I have hot flashes at times, I do sweat in my sleep. And I wake up and I'm like, you know what? My skin don't feel as fresh. So I'm going to take a shower. You don't have to take a long, hot shower for like an hour. Like sometimes if you take a shower the night before and you take a rinse off in the morning, that's fine. Like long as you hit those main spots and shower in the morning, just give you a quick shower. Especially if you went to go work out, you need to take a detailed shower.
100% with the rag.
With the rag, always have a clean rag. How often would you say to change out your rag?
I say 3 days.
I would say 3 days too, because a lot of people are excessive. Like, well, I change it out every day. Okay, have fun with laundry,
that's fine.
If you're at that point where you're that dirty, where you got to change it out every day, kudos to you. I feel like bacteria build up after 3 days. Yeah, like you need to go ahead and throw that rag out. Stop using that same rag for a whole month. Stop using that same loofah that you didn't have for a whole month or 2 or 3 months.
After 16 days, I find myself telling this to a lot of my guests every single day, every single time. After the 16th day, even before the 16th day, but the 16th day for sure, your things start to hold on to bacteria, because we preach you need to exfoliate if you want your waxing experience to be that much better, right? So we have these things called mittens that you use, the gloves that you put on to help exfoliate, or you use the dry brush. After the 16th day, the bacteria in those things are crazy. So unless you're sterilizing them with the UV light or anything like that, those need to be thrown away. And it's the same with your washcloth. 3 days, just get it out of there, because your washcloth, you're using it on everything. So you just go ahead and just be in the practice, be in the habit. It costs minimum amount of money to have basic good hygiene.
Yeah. It does. I think that a lot of people don't put a lot of emphasis on hygiene. If you're somebody who suffers from eczema, what would you recommend for them? Because I feel like that's like people are like, well, I have eczema, and
Yeah, so do I. And just realistically, as far as like products and things, keep it with the Dove Sensitive. Oh, even this is something that I started doing a couple months ago, more so at the beginning of the year. And don't fight me, because I know how you girls like to tussle. I found, especially with just the keeping the moisture in my skin and just how it feels after I shower, because things can be very drying and leave us feeling stripped. I use one of my favorite face washes as a body wash, and I never have really just had a smell issue. So I love that. So the CeraVe Cream to Foam Cleanser, because you want things to foam up in the shower, it just makes you feel better. But the cream to foam cleanser, I use it actually as a body wash as well. Nice. So I would recommend that for my more sensitive skin girlies, or the girlies with eczema or any other skin disorder. Try that.
Nice. That's good. Because I never knew that. I use CeraVe. Actually, I use Dr. Bronner's, the peppermint.
You're diluting it right.
Huh?
You're diluting it right.
Yes, Well, I wet the rag, and then I pour a little bit on, and I exfoliate, and then I wet it again, I exfoliate, and then I use it, and I just feel so like clean and like, and I use it on my face. That's what I use for my face. I was using CeraVe, but I just fell in love with the Dr. Bronner more. Right. And I remember I used that on my lady parts. Girl, peppermint.
It's a little milk peppermint.
I can't describe what that feeling is, but it's like just don't use too much.
Don't use too much.
Make sure I wouldn't recommend using it. I wouldn't use honey pot because baby, that's extreme.
And that's just another thing you could do also with just like if you have chest acne, back acne, or just body acne, period. The skincare, as long as it's good skincare, quality skincare, you can use it on the body.
Okay. Yeah, talk about that because some girlies are suffering from the body acne, and you are.
So I generally use skin script products, and unfortunately, because I'm an esthetician, I'm the only person that can purchase it. So if you want to try any of these products, slide in my DMs on IG. We can have a more detailed discussion about you specifically. But we have this raspberry refining cleanser that's really good for acne, or even the charcoal clay facial wash cleanser. I have recommended it to a few of my guests that come in for facials and things like that once their face cleared up so quickly, and they were like, okay, well, my bag does this and that, what can I do? And I just tell them, try it for a week, try it for a month, try it for 2 and 3 months, and see if there's a difference, and there always is.
And what's your Instagram name that you want?
My Instagram is akilahmonroe, so my name on the screen, underscore in the middle.
Nice. Okay. Yeah, girls, if y'all have any facial acne problems, maybe what would somebody come to you for advice? Name all the things that they will come to you for.
If you were having cystic acne and nothing you're using is working, we could talk about that. If you are having trouble with hyperpigmentation, especially if you're a woman of color, because that is what I specialize in, women of color and our skin, we can talk about your hyperpigmentation and why aren't you wearing SPF, because that's always going to be a question. And that's it. Let's get your skin clear.
By you.
You can slide in my DMs and I'll let you know where I work, because I can't talk about it freely. Yeah. I will get sued. But other than that, slide in the DMs.
It's a very popular waxing place where you used to work. I'm not gonna name it. Yeah, we're not gonna name it. But now you work somewhere else. That's really nice. But you guys are in the.
It's more luxury now where I work.
Yes, more luxury. If you want to experience a more luxury experience, if you're in the Houston area, please slide in her DMs, follow her on her YouTube. Where your YouTube, what can we learn from your YouTube channel?
So right now, what I have up on my YouTube, because it is a beauty and lifestyle, so we're doing girl talks, we're doing esthetician talks, we're doing skincare communications, we're doing our skincare together. So if you feel like you don't have time, but you want to watch a YouTube video and you're sitting on your couch, get up, let's wash our face, let's do that. So it's going to be all of those. I actually, if you want to be more specific, I have a video coming out within the next 2 weeks. I'm editing it now. 5 more things your waxer wish you knew before your appointment. So that video is up right now. The part 1 is up right now. 5 things that your waxer wants to tell you, but they can't because they got to be professional. So definitely go check those out.
Oh, yes. Y'all don't want to miss that, because y'all do not want to be one of these ladies on the story time that you didn't came there after a heavy workout and busted open for your waxer and expect her to just not say, not think anything. Like,
because their thoughts,
and they holding their breath. I saw one waxer say they was literally hold their breath because they're traumatized. Yes. You hold your breath?
Yes, and I still wear a mask at work, and I just feel like if you're coming through my mask, that's the most disrespect. So we're holding our breaths.
You came through your mask before?
Yes.
You all the time.
I was. That's exactly what I was about to say.
Oh my gosh. Do you think it's because they didn't wash right, or is it because they had something going on and need to go to the doctor?
I think it's a good mixture of both, but I feel like when it's that prominent, it's hang it up, go to the doctor.
Okay. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah. So some people need to go to the doctor. Yeah, I think we had a great discussion today. I'm so
Yes.
grateful for having you on. I have to have you on again for another topic. I think my audience definitely loved you. They're
I
the
love
girls.
your audience.
Yes, like yes, we're learning things over here. We don't just talk mess and say something's not true. We get into discussions. We bring resources. We bring facts, and this is my source. We are very, very experienced in that field when it comes to dealing with women and their body and their skin and their health and everything. So I'm so thankful for you coming on. I appreciate you so much for joining me and letting me interview you. So y'all make sure y'all follow Akilah Monroe on Instagram at Akilah_Monroe, the underscore in the middle of the name. And then your YouTube is Akilah Monroe, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, y'all. And so if y'all know somebody who needs some little help with their BO, or you have a young girl that you know, or you're a mom and it's awkward for you to talk about this with your daughter or granddaughter, go ahead and send her this video, and so we can inform them on the things that you're not comfortable talking about.
Right.
So much.
You're welcome. Talk to you later.
Bye
Bye,
bye.
guys.